Hi, Lenny Sharp here, Sharp Mountain Homes Team, eXp Realty. You've selected your property. You made your offer. It was accepted and now you're in escrow. What comes next? Inspections. It's your responsibility to do a thorough investigation of the property to make sure that this is really going to be a great investment for your portfolio. The home inspection is critical, and for that reason, we're actually going to follow my inspector as he inspects a home for a recent client. Come along, learn about home inspections from Asim Gribo, Mariposa Home Inspections. Okay, so today is inspection day at Grayling. We are in contract. My buyer has found a great home here in Ponderosa Basin, and I'm with my home inspector that I use for all my inspections, Asim Gribo of Mariposa Home Inspections. So Asim, today we're gonna follow you around a bit while you inspect this home. Why don't you just give me a quick overview of what you'll be looking at and what you'll be looking for?
All right, so the first I started with the grounds, just see the slope towards the house and away from the house, see the water drainage or if there are any anomalies that I can find and address. After that, I will be looking for the retaining walls. There are quite a few retaining walls below the house and the garage. Make sure that those are intact and strong, sitting strong. After that, we will be inspecting all the steps, the deck, and then after we're done with that, we'll do exterior of the house. We'll do exterior covering, the windows, the doors. And then once we're done with that, we will check all of the railings that they are up to code and safe. And we will move on to the garage, inspect it from outside, the roofing, the exterior covering, the door, the safety features, and the garage opener.
What do you think about this deck so far?
This deck is absolutely amazing. The contractor that built it actually did everything up to code, actually spent more material than normally would be spent. The joists are just 15 inches apart. The posts in this area right here are only 4 feet apart, which is absolutely amazing. So this deck is a great asset to the house, probably about $75,000 deck.
Wow. And then also, when you get in the house, you're going to be inspecting all the major functions, right? So,
yeah, everything will be inspected. First, I will make sure that the roof is inspected, the chimney, all the vent stocks inspected in the details. If I see anything out of the ordinary, once I go into the attic, I will follow the trail and see what is going on, if anything is wrong with it. And then once I'm in the house, we will be inspecting a HVAC system. We will be inspecting everything, the kitchen, the bathrooms, and then all of the interior. And right before I get into the house, actually, I will be opening the electrical panel. And first want to make sure that the brand is one of the ones that are approved. And then I'm gonna check on the wiring, on amperage, size of the wires, and everything else. No double tapping, such a things. And that probably, once I'm done with the interior of the house, it's gonna wrap up our home inspection today.
okay, I'll let you get to work, and I might follow you around as you inspect some of the things and get some more comments from you. Thank you. All right.
Has been painted in not long ago, but it was painted the way it should be painted, and not to hide dry rot and stuff like that. Have a AC and heating in one HVAC. Oh, generator too. Oh my God, that's amazing asset to the house.
Yeah, but now we have the electrical panel.
Yeah, we have electrical panel that we will be inspecting later, but I just want to see. And with the electrical panel, unfortunately, the electrical panel will have to be replaced. It's a Sylvania GTE panel that has a high risk of the fires because the breakers are made by the Zinsco company that was operating back in the 70s, and those spring-loaded breakers actually melt over the time, and once it gets to overload, it's supposed to trip, the spring doesn't work anymore. That can definitely be a fire hazard and definitely this
Yeah,
panel.
we had some experience with one of those, and it actually caught fire, huh?
Yes, one of them caught fire, and I would say it's good to replace it with a brand new and up to code, and you will be fine for decades.
That's
to
why you
come.
have to have a home inspector to find these kinds of issues.
Nothing is hidden, nothing is caulked over and painted over. It's in a very nice shape. It's a tape. It is a leak. So we have a previous leak, a little stain right there, and the tape between the drywalls is detached because the drywall is warped a little bit. The posts rotted and then collapsed, so that will need to be replaced here and below the garage. But it's a, I would say, very small section. It's probably about 16 feet, and down there about another like 10 or 12 feet. So from what I see is this roof that definitely wasn't the one that leaked. So I would say that was probably original roof that came with the house and the garage, and that was replaced. And in my opinion, probably up between 5 and 10 years ago. Yeah, so this roof is in really good condition. No visible nails. This is where the leak was detected from inside, and there are no soft spots in the deck. Okay, so here we have a gable roof with the asphalt shingle on it. The roof looks in a very good shape. The shingle, just looking at the little wear and tear, in my humble opinion, it would be about 10 to 12 years old, maybe 15 at the most, but I would say right around 12 years. The vent stocks and the flashings are in a good shape. There are no visible nails. The chimney, I already inspected the inside of the chimney. The flue has no cracks, it's clean, needs no cleaning. Here, the chimney crown, we have pieces of concrete kind of chipping off, which is normal for this kind of chimneys, but they need to be sealed every once in a while. So this chimney definitely will need a top mortar replaced. The beams look good, they're exposed beams. I would suggest capping them off or even cutting them flush with a fascia board, just other two, just preventative maintenance to prevent the rot and water damage. The gutters are metal gutters. They're full of the debris, so they need to be cleaned. The gutter end right here is broken, so this needs to be sealed. First gutter needs to be cleaned and then sealed. The gutters are a little bit bent in several areas. I'm not sure if it's from the snow load or maybe the waters going up the roof. But in general, the roof is in a good condition. There's one little piece of wood right here that was nailed in with the two little nails to divert the water from going down on the deck, going into the gutter. So I would highly suggest this just to be taken out, those two little pinholes to be sealed, and metal flashing to be put there and to divert the water into the gutter. But other than that, the roof is in a excellent condition.
All right, so what's the report on the bottom of the house?
So the foundation looks good. There's a little bit of presence of moisture on the southwest side of the house, which is right under the slope that going towards the house. It's nothing unusual. We had a lot of moisture in the recent weeks, and just about 1/3 of the ground is damp on that side. The foundation walls look good. You see a little bit of efflorescence on it, which means that there's a presence of moisture. Pretty much salts are coming out of the concrete. The insulation is damaged in multiple areas, and that needs to be addressed. The vapor retarder is not installed, and then also what I've noticed, that flexible ducting for HVAC system is completely destroyed, so that will have to be fully replaced. The waste pipe is ABS plastic in a good shape with no leaks, and I see under the house that the plumbing is made out of the copper. I see a couple of green spots on the pipes, which means there's some kind of oxidation, which means presence of the moisture. So it's something to watch down the road, and if anything starts leaking, to replace. But the house is sitting solid, and double pane window that obviously has a broken seal inside. We see moisture captured in here and the stains, so this cannot be fixed. This piece of glass needs to be replaced. So here we have a raised foundation with poured concrete. So here towards the top we see some chipping in the concrete, and also under the main door entry,
Right.
chipping of the concrete. So I would highly recommend this to be nicely cleaned, chipped, and put a fresh coat of concrete from this point to the first step, and then just the right underneath door area, and just to make sure that moisture never penetrates from this side, and it's going to be in a good shape after that.
Okay.
Inside of the crawl space, I noticed that that end of the house, all the way to this end of the house, is wet underneath. 1/3 of the house on the southwest side, which is this side facing this way, and the best thing would be to dig the trench and just divert the water away from the house, so you wouldn't need any special engineering or anything like that to prevent the water drainage towards the house.
French drain, huh?
That would definitely protect the foundation and solve the moisture down inside of the crawl space. We have electrical supply right here, the water supply. There's no rust on top. We do have a pressure relief valve with a blow flag that goes down to the crawl space, and then it is strapped with the 2 straps properly. So I would say this water heater is in good shape. So I'm getting 100 degrees right here, and this is, we're getting 105. Oh, that's 100. 105. 105. Disconnected, so we're not getting any readings right there. So there's no airflow in there.
That ductwork that you found underneath is
Probably that's the one.
Probably.
We have a return temperature at 77 right now. 112. $123.
Wow.
And here we have 113. So considering the shape of the flexible ducting, so there are multiple leaks right there. If the flexible ducting was not damaged at all, we would have amazingly high temperatures inside of the house. So what I would just want to say is that furnace, the heating part, works. It's in excellent shape. So we're going to check the attic space, the roof structure, trusses. We have a roof decking and a plank underneath it that looks in a really good shape, I would say. There are no signs of previous leaks. We have a pretty sufficient ventilation. We have it on the soffits and the gable ends on both sides. I don't think this house will need extra ventilator or anything installed. Here we have a return ducting that looks in a good shape. I believe that will not need to be replaced. We have insulation on top. We have fiberglass bats. And with all this said, vent stocks are plastic, go through properly. Nothing is venting into the attic. I would say this attic is in a satisfactory condition. We have a wood cabinets. This bottom drawer is stuck, needs to be worked on. The rest of the cabinet doors open. This one doesn't close properly, so the hinge needs to be adjusted. And these are just good. So here we have tile countertops. We have a couple of hairline cracks on the countertops, which is very common, I would say. And I found one more right here. Okay. And then we have a double sink. Looking for any cracks or rust. I'll go underneath to check the P-trap, to check the water connections, check for any possible leaks. The dishwasher is properly connected to the air gap. We have a garbage disposal down here. There are no leaks under the sink. Garbage disposal works, and we are getting hot water. So we are in a good shape with the sink. Appliances. We have a General Electric range right here. But we're going to test, and we're going to bake Easter cake. Okay. We'll wait a little bit for the oven to warm up. It's about, I would say, about 10 years old stove, but it's in a decent shape, I would say. Then we have a refrigerator right here. Okay. I don't see the brand on this refrigerator. This is the brand. But let's see how cold this refrigerator is actually.
It's Italian.
Yeah. It's a fragile, so it's Italian. So the freezer is good. We were getting about 7 below, and then here.
Just wasn't set cool enough.
Yeah. So here I am getting about 35. So I would say it's in a range. So I would say that the refrigerator is satisfactory. I will run it for probably about 10 to 15 minutes and then drain it, and I just want to look for any kind of leaks, any kind of clogs or anything like that. Let's check on the oven. Oven works. Okay, so here we have so it looks like we only have a one speed. It should be low and high. I'm just getting one speed on this one, and the light works. That probably, and look at it here. So the dishwasher is not draining properly. We're getting water out of the air gap, and also we're getting it out of the sink. and we have a leak also going down under the sink. So I would, in my opinion, the lines might be clogged. It needs to be disconnected, cleaned, reconnected properly. And
That's what we have a home inspection for, right?
yes, sir. So now this sink is not draining as well. So yeah, we'll have to have a plumber come in and check the drainage of the sink, the dishwasher connection, actually the drain hose, and get that going right. So we'll see. We have 59 degrees coming out of the registers here, 59, and the return is, as of right now, 79. So we have a 20 degrees drop in the temperature, which is ideal. So in the bathrooms, what we're looking for is looking first, like looking at the walls, looking for any kind of mold or anything like that. We have nothing, the walls are clean and nice. This bathroom, we'll say location is the hallway. The bathtub. The bathtub itself is in a good shape. We have just a little bit of rust around the drain. It probably can be cleaned. And then caulking in some areas. I see little cracks, so just make sure that water is not going behind the walls. And then here we have a shower, in-tub shower that works properly. The toilets, we have a standard tank. It's not loose. It flushes properly. The sink, we have a single vanity. We'll run it a little bit to check for the leaks. Bidet is not present. Shower walls. This is a tile. It's satisfactory. The floor is vinyl. Satisfactory. Ventilation, we have a ventilator right here that will need to be a little bit cleaned, but it does work properly. Okay, we have a leak right here under the sink. So when the plumber comes to check the kitchen sink and the dishwasher, probably be able to address this leak as well. Okay, so the laundry room, we have a washer and dryer. Then we have a ventilation here, plenty of it. We have a window and a door, which is great. The dryer is venting to exterior, and it's a really short travel time, so it's really easy to clean it, and also it won't collect as much lint as the long ones. So here we have a little bit older appliances, I would say. We have a washer that we'll check, and then the dryer here, we have electric dryer. It's already plugged in, so let's start and see if it's heating. So we're getting the water going right here in the washer, and the dryer is spinning. The hookups are good. I don't see any leaks behind, and the dryer vent is connected properly, so I don't see the lint behind the dryer or any fire hazard. Yeah, the dryer is heating and it's in a satisfactory condition. And this is Maytag. And then washer, I see it's filling. Now I'm gonna try to spin it See how it's spinning and how it's draining. The washer and the dryer are in a satisfactory condition. With the homes, all the homes, but especially homes with a raised foundation such as crawl space, you want to open the door, each interior door and the window, because that can tell you a lot about the foundation and settling underneath. That's all. Oh my God, look at this. I know a lot of people don't like the wallpaper. I like this one.
It's coming back.
Yeah, it is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so here we have a master bathroom. And we have a shower stall. Go inspecting right now. I already see that the grout is older, has a little bit of a mildew around it, and it's cracked also in a couple of places. So I will suggest just the caulking or the grout at the bottom around the pan need to be replaced. We do have a ventilation here, the window. We don't have a ventilator. State of code requires at least one window or ventilator or both. We have a standard tank that's not low.
See that dance again. I like your toilet.
Okay,
Listening dance.
so the best way to check on a toilet if it's sitting properly, put it between your legs and try to shake it, and this one is not moving. The only thing that's moving a little bit is the toilet lid. So this toilet is not loose and works properly.
And so a window is enough of a vent?
Yes.
You don't
State
have
of-
to have an exhaust vent.
State of California requires just one. So either window or ventilator or both, but one is up to code. So now the sink, let's check it for the leaks. This sink is dry. Functional drain is good, so there's no water sitting in a sink. So sink is satisfactory. We have a, just noted, so they put a screw right there. Here we do have a GFI outlet.
That's wired correctly.
We're not getting anything on it. So the top one works. And the bottom one wanna work. It trips,
So it's a
It
wiring
trips.
issue.
but probably just needs to be taken out and I would say probably loose connection. The floor is vinyl also. It feels solid, that means there were no previous leaks or anything like that to damage the subflooring. So I would say the floor is satisfactory. Ventilation, like we said, window is satisfactory, and this needs to be looked at the outlet. The door opens and closes properly. The walls are good. So. Okay.
Okay, so for something like this, just the master bedroom, what would you be looking for?
When I inspect inside, I start with the floors and then go all the way up to the ceiling. So the floors, they look like decent wood laminate floors. The closet door works properly. There are no signs of leaks or cracks in the ceiling that I can see. The door opens and closes properly. The window opens and closes properly. And now we have a slider door. with a screen also. That works properly. So now we want to check at least one outlet because they're on the same circuit. So just so we make sure that we are getting ground and everything. So yeah, it's properly ground, and we are getting proper electrical here inside of this room. This is disconnected probably for the nightstands.
Yeah.
Okay, with this said, the master bedroom is inspected and it's in satisfactory condition. Second bedroom, the electrical works. Is it grounded properly? It is grounded properly. The closet, no leaks. The closet door.
It's detached from the top.
Oh, it's missing, huh?
Yeah, needs some adjustment, I think, huh? Oh yeah, it's a little taller that way. All right, so we got an inspection and a repair. It's loose though.
It's a little bit loose. So pretty much what needs to be done to be right, put something inside of this hole where the plastic part goes, raise it up so it stays. The door itself is good, just this plastic here needs to be adjusted. That's an easy fix. So the window, the sliding window, it's in satisfactory condition. So I see a little bit of hard water stains on this window right here, or it's a broken seal at one point. I'm not sure what it is, but I will definitely note it because it's not clear, it's foggy. So the window, it's a slider and it's in a smaller bedroom and it's foggy. That will need to be addressed. The ceilings have no cracks, no signs of leaks. The floors look good, and the door, let's check the door, opens and closes nicely without rubbing. So the second bedroom is satisfactory as well.
We looked at that, but
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just looking. I didn't look anything up here. Everything looks good. They literally put some cool vinyl down here.
yeah.
Like throughout the house, I kind of makes it look happy. I don't know. It's me at least.
Same as sugar.
Now I'm going to look all the walls and the beams and look for anything that could possibly so the windows, so we have a kitchen window opens properly, the dining room windows open and close properly. They're all double pane windows. And then we have a living room. Living room sliders open and close properly. This one, they just need to be, nothing is wrong with it, just need to be cleaned and oiled. And this one, as we stated earlier, needs to be replaced. And also, I see the paint is peeling
So
off
maybe
of the
under
window
the
seal.
bottom of that window, maybe, huh?
Yeah, that tells me that moisture was coming out and kind of going through the window seal. And also we do have a sun hitting it here,
Yeah.
so I would recommend once the window is replaced, The window seal is not rotted or damaged, just sanded and painted.
So you take all these photos for your report?
Yeah.
So
Yes, all the photos will be in the report, and then I will explain every single photo, what are you looking at, and then if you have any further questions, you're more than welcome to discuss it with me. Okay, so now I want to check all the doors, exterior doors. So this door opens and closes properly. We do have a little bit of water damage towards the bottom. That's from the water splashing store. Now I'm going to check also the door, exterior door from same thing, very little bit of water damage at the bottom. The paint is bubbling a little bit, but nothing too concerning. They're not rotted. And then I already checked the slider there, and I already inspected the main entry door that closes properly. What I would just suggest with the main entry door, in the bottom corner, you can see the daylight when the door is latched. So I would just put the weather strip there. You insulate your house properly. Okay. Now I want to just the kitchen area and the bathrooms. The bathrooms have to be GFI, right? The kitchen also, even if the stove is not right here, even if stove was on the other side of the kitchen, it's still, you cook on it and the water is present. So all the outlets within 6 feet from the sink or the range or cooktop, they need to be GFI. So this outlet obviously is GFI, trips. Okay. Now we'll trip those two trips. That's satisfactory. The bottle. And then trips.
So
Satisfactory.
those aren't GFI sockets.
They're still
Wired
GFI.
because they're on.
They're
this-
connected to this one.
Okay, perfect.
And then we'll trip this one just to make sure it trips. It does.
Okay.
So the outlets in the kitchen are satisfactory. They're all GFI outlets and they're safe to use.
Good.
Now, one more thing that we need to inspect is the walls inside of the living room, kitchen, and the dining room. We do have the beams going through it, good size beams, and then here we have a crack in the wall, and that's from the beam settlement. If you look, that beam is a little bit turned to the side as it was drying throughout the years. And the drywall right there cracked a little bit. So it's not a structural issue. I will mark those walls satisfactory, but I just want to take a picture so the buyer has an idea what that is. So on this side of the wall, we have a couple of small hairline cracks, also just a settlement, and for 45 years old home, this is really very minor. Nothing that needs repairs. So the walls, also I would say throughout the house, the walls and the floors are in a satisfactory condition. Okay. Here we have a wood burning insert that is not connected to the top of the chimney with a 6-inch flexible stainless steel pipe. It's just slammed in, and they're called slam-in inserts. So those kind of inserts, they are not EPA compliant, but this county doesn't ask for that compliancy anyways. The insert from outside looks it's in a good shape. The gasket on this door is in a good shape. The firebox, I see the metal firebox and the bricks at the bottom. They are in a satisfactory condition. The damper works, and we do have a baffle on top that actually helps keeping this insert a little bit warmer, hotter, so all the heat doesn't just escape straight through the chimney. So I would say that this insert is in a satisfactory shape. It also has a blower motor. Let's see if it's gonna work on the cold. So I would not use this blower motor.
I need to do that spark in slow motion. That
I would not use this. Look.
Oh, wow.
I would not use this blower motor up until it's inspected by a licensed electrician. However, what I would actually suggest, even better and the less expensive option, is to put one of the self-powered fans right here. It's a wood burning stove self-powered fan that you put on the top. It doesn't need electricity or anything. Once the insert gets hot, it will start turning and moving the air at the right speed without cooling it. So those are available on Amazon. Without noise, without anything. Even when you have a power outage, you don't worry about it.
That's awesome.
And they're available on Amazon for $35 to $40.
And it doesn't leave black marks on your finger when
It doesn't shock you, and it doesn't make your feet tingly. Okay. Let me just take a picture of this, what sparked the switch. Okay. Yeah, see, you never know. You have to check everything. So the smoke detector is supposed to be installed in each bedroom. That's the California law. So we do not have a smoke detectors present in neither one of those bedrooms, so I will suggest those to be installed.
They don't have to be hardwired. They can be
No,
wireless.
they can be a battery,
Okay.
just to be operational.
How about carbon monoxide?
Carbon monoxide, there's no really law that when I'm inspecting it, to be present. However, when you have a wood burning appliance, I would highly suggest to have a carbon monoxide in this hallway that's close to the bedrooms. And I believe this is a carbon monoxide right here. It is.
Okay.
So the carbon monoxide detector is there. And I would also suggest one to be installed. One's to be installed in this room. Actually, we do have it in a dining room. So they're installed properly. They're like closer to the floor because carbon monoxide is heavy gas. It's sitting low, and sometimes you see them placed high up on the ceiling, and unfortunately, if that activates, there will be fatalities in homes.
Just recap your findings of this home.
Okay, we just finished the inspection on a Grayling home right here in Mariposa, California. And the foundation and the roof of the home are satisfactory shape. The two main things that I found are the electrical panel made by Sylvania GTE needs a replacement due to safety. And then also the flexible ducting for HVAC system is totally disintegrated under the house, so that will end up detached, so it will definitely need to be fully replaced. So pretty much those are two main items that we're talking about replacing in this house. Also, once we have an electrician probably working on a panel, we would probably want to have him go and check the safety in the bathroom, install the GFI outlet and wire it properly. Also check the switch on the blower motor on a wood burning insert.
And then the dishwasher drain, right?
And then we'll have to check the dishwasher drain and the sink drain The water is still sitting there. Once I tested the dishwasher, the water was coming out of the air gap and also leaking down under the sink. And there are other little minor things, such as a couple of broken seals in the windows. But all in all, this is a solid home. And
if my buyer doesn't buy it, you're going to buy it, right?
I will buy a scratcher on the way home. I promise that. So it's a possibility.